Hey guys, Corey here. This is the venue map for Hyrox Atlanta. So I'm going to give you a quick once over so that you know what you're doing here for people that are new. So you're going to start off on that far right side on that thing that says Red Bull start tunnel. You start from there, and then on the very beginning of the race, you go in the second time you see the in sign. So what that means is you'd exit from that start tunnel, go around, see that in, ignore it, go around, and then the second time you see it, that's where you go inside. And then the first event's the ski erg, so you'd run all the way down, go to the ski erg, you go down to the farthest one available. There'll be a judge, but don't stop at the first one, keep running down. And then you exit by running back around the way they tell you to go. So it's not like if you're on the first ski machine and the thing, you have some big advantage because you can pop right out. You have to go all the way down anyway. So you'll exit and then go out the outside. And then same thing, you run around a little bit further this time because you're starting back farther from where the start tunnel thing is. Run around, see the in sign, that's one. Run around the second time, see the in sign the second time, go in. And then the rest of the events are pretty much in order. So go down all the way to the far right side, but not quite to the ski machines. And there's a sled push, exit, sled pull, exit, burpee broad jump, exit. And then the second half of the race with the row and everything, those are actually right next to the in sign. So your rock zone time in the second half of the race is going to be kind of easy. It kind of balances out because where the in and exit are, but on that rowing sign, you're going to go in and it's right there. So couple of quick notes on this. One, if you're doing doubles, I highly recommend that as you go into that rowing station, one of your two doubles partners pops over there to the left, where you can see where the water thing is, grabs some water, and then runs inside with you. So that's one little note. Second thing, your GPS doesn't really work indoors. So if you're someone who is trying to run certain paces, I have an estimate for you to know what you're doing. So one, get your watch set up and lap it every time you start your run so you can see how long your run is taking. That's also a nice little sanity check, because in a race like this, if you see that you've been running for 6 minutes as you get to the inside, you're done. You definitely didn't run so slowly that you don't have, that you have another lap or something. So when you see that, that's a little bit of a sanity check of okay, cool, I'm done. What I try to do is to just have a rough estimate of the speeds I'm running, is I try to figure out a halfway point and a quarter point, and then do the math on what paces I need to be running. So my halfway point for this is I leave that out sign. As you run all the way around and get back to that water station, this one that I'm pointing at, that is in the middle between the in and the out, I think that's about the halfway point. So if I'm trying to run 5-minute 1Ks, when I get to that point, that halfway point, I want to see that my clock is at about 2:30. So that's my halfway point, quick little sanity check as I'm running around. The quarter mark point, I think, is, you can see where it says ceremony stage up there, kind of a quarter of the way through that straight, or on the other half of that straightaway. I think that's going to be about your quarter mark. So you just take the time you want to run, divide it by 4, and that's about what I want to see there. So if my goal pace is a 5, when I get to the water station in between the 2 laps, I want to be at about a 2:30. And when I get to that quarter of that ceremony stage, the quarter mark, I want to be at about a 1:15. So that is the math I would do. And you just adjust it for whatever pace you're trying to run. You're trying to run 4-minute 1Ks, cool. When you get to that water, you should be at a 2-minute time. And when you get to that ceremony stage, you should be at about a minute. So that's rough estimates. And once again, I'm telling you that because you're not going to have your Amazfit watch or Garmin watch or sundial, whatever it is you use during a race or during a run to track your speed. You're not going to have access to that, really, not in a reliable way. So that is the rough estimate that I would do to try to keep track of that. I lap as I exit the run and start it. I lap it as I come into the rock zone, and then I lap it as I am getting into the event area so I can see generally how long things are taking. There's not always a lot you can do about it, but I like to kind of know what's going on there. And it's a good thing to hey, I think I'm running at a certain speed because I'm hurting so bad. You might not be. You might need to speed it up some. So there you go. That is my quick thing. Oh, last thing. Right now on the website, it says go in the second time you see the wall ball arch. I think that's wrong. That's a weird thing to say. I think that is a typo. I would bet that at some point they had the wall balls not in the middle. They had it like off to the side or something, where there was like a separate exit point for that. I don't think there is a separate exit point. The wall balls, as they are shown here, are clearly in the middle. So unless we hear otherwise, I would plan on running 2 laps on that last one. You know, exit the way you normally do the exact same thing you've done for the other 7 laps or 7 runs for the 8th run, and then come inside and do the wall balls. I think that language is what they use when the wall balls are like off site, not in the middle. So not relevant here. That is what I will do on my race on Saturday. I will run 2 laps unless I hear something otherwise before then. But aside from that, looks like an easy layout. Should be really easy for spectators. Should be pretty easy to manage. I don't see anything that's going to be crazy complicated here. The farmer's carry is 2 laps, it looks like, so factor that in. But honestly, we should be good to go. Should be a fun race. If you have any questions, let me know. I will happily help out. Peace.